everybody, this is Tina from Rehatch Designs, and I'm here today to do part 2 of our Christmas budget journal. And if you were with me last time, this is what we finished. We had done the outside of it. We scored it and got it all ready to finish up. So today we're going to go ahead and do that. And we're going to go through the process of adding our envelopes and our journal portion of this, okay? So anyway, this is where we left off, and we put all our different papers on. We had put our micropore tape in here, and we inked it up, and I did quite a bit of inking and made it kind of I don't know, grungy or old or whatever, because this is kind of the style that I'm going for with this. Of course, you can do it any style you want. And then, as I showed you before, it could definitely be just a regular budget journal or whatever you would like it to be. Okay, so anyway, first let me say hi and thank you guys for watching, and appreciate everyone's comments on my last video, and also reaching my 1,300 subscribers. Hope everybody's doing well. I thought we'd go ahead and finish this, and then hopefully I'll have time to go ahead and let everybody know what we're doing in our next video, so you can maybe get your things together. Okay, so for today, I went ahead and decided to use these envelopes, mainly because they were sized right. The other ones I was going to go ahead and use and just trim them off and use them. But I kind of like the idea that they had this kind of V in there, because I like it to kind of show. And the other one would work too, because I've done one like that. But anyway, I decided to use these. These are, I don't know, I bought them off of Amazon. I don't know where my ruler is. Here we go. So these are 8 3/4 by 4 inches, and our outside shell was 9 inches, so it gives us a little room in there. You can make this any length that you need to for your envelopes, but I like to make it 9, just because I'm really gearing it up, not so much to the envelopes, but for my notebook that's going to go in there. And if I make it much bigger than that, it'll be, you know, quite a bit bigger. So if my envelope's a little big, then I just basically trim them off and then re-glue them, and that's what I was going to do on the other ones. But I decided to go ahead and use these instead, and that's what I used on my other ones. Like I said, you can use whatever it is you want to use. You just have to size it. This is really sized basically more like a traveler's notebook size, and it's refillable, so, you know, that's just up to you. I mean, you can do whatever you want to do. Okay, so in order to finish this, we've gotten all our papers on there on both sides, and we've inked it. So I'm going to put that aside. We need to get our envelopes ready, and I'm putting 7 of them in there. That's what I put in my budget journal, and it had, you know, the days of the week. In my monthly one, I put 12. So basically, you can do it however many you want. I mean, I'm doing that because I have my 3 sons and my husband I buy presents for, and then I put others, and then I also am going to put decorations and food, and that's kind of how I'm going to do it. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take my envelopes. So I needed 7, and all of them, I take this top part here and I fold it in, okay? And I'm not gluing it down, because what I'm going to do is I am going to go ahead, and my papers, these are all the remnant papers from the pieces that we cut off to cover the journal, and I'm going to just cut it. And most of them are going to end up about this size because they were 9 inches. But I make sure I just trim them down just a tiny bit, just to make sure that they'll fit inside. Okay. So that'll should fit in here pretty easily. Might have to trim it a little bit more. So then that will fit right there. And that's because that part of it is going to show. It's going to cover that piece that was in here when you folded it under. So that will get covered with this. So all I do at this point is I take my ink and I just ink the top part of it. I don't do the, because that's all you're really going to see. And I'll put some ink on there. Okay. Since I'm making this kind of a grungy looking older. And then I'll take my, where did my glue go? Here it is. I think I'm using my art glitter glue for this. When I do paper to paper, I usually use art glitter glue. So I'm going to do that and get enough glue on there to where it'll stay down all the way down. So I folded that in. I didn't glue it down. You can if you want to. It's just, I don't think it's necessary. And then I just kind of put this in. And because it's a wet glue, I have a little bit of time. And I just kind of make it even with the top all the way across. Pull that back up. There we go. And so that's pretty much it. That's all I do. Make sure I get that all down. And so what that'll do is it'll cover that portion. If you want to, you could do it all the way down, but you're really not going to see that. And this basically is kind of the size of your scrap anyway, so you might as well use it for that, okay? So pretty much you do that for however many envelopes you want in there. And I've done 7. At this point, what I do is I pick out trim to put over here, which is not, you know, this is just something if you want to do it. You don't have to do this. So I'm going to take, now when I do trim on this, usually I use my 3-in-1 because I think it holds a little better than the art glitter glue. And I usually just put it on the edge. And I'll go up like that. I go over the top so that it can be covering that. Now I'll turn around the corner a lot of times. And then just come back up and go off the edge. Maybe move that up a tiny bit. There we go. And make sure I have enough glue on there. And then I'll go back in and trim it. Make sure that's not, okay, go like that. And then across the top. All right. And then do that over here. All right. So pretty much that'll be all decorated. Now, if you want to do the top here, you can. I don't, because I'm going to be putting tabs on there. I do usually ink this portion. You know, I just go across and ink it. I don't usually do the sides because you really can't see them. But so I did that one. Here's the one we just did. And what I like to do when I do this is I just like to pick out different trims that go together but are not the same. That's just my thing. If you don't have that, of course you don't have to, or if you don't like it, do it however you want. But that's just kind of how I do it. And I'll take that. Let's see, I'm going to go this way, I think, on that one. And I just go all the way across, kind of turn it a little bit. You know, and depending on the trim, you may want to cut it and put it on there, or at least, but I usually can get it to go around the corner pretty good. Here we go. All right, so I'm going to cut that and go back in and trim it. Make sure that's on there good. Might put a little bit more glue right here. Yep. And maybe over here. And like I said, the trim's optional. I mean, you don't have to do that if you don't want to. And the style that you do it is totally optional too. Go like that. Looks like we need a little glue on the end there. Go like that. And maybe just one more dot of glue right there. Make sure that stays down. Got a little bit too much. Wipe my hands off a little bit. Okay, so now what I'm going to do is I would do that on all 7. I would put my different papers, and like I said, I just used a scrap. Some of them are repeats. If you don't like that, then you know, you could always just, you know, cut out whatever papers you want or do whatever you want to do. But anyway, so I have 7 of these because that's what I decided I wanted to use. Now usually what I do is kind of figure out what order I want them in, and this is going to go, here's the front of your journal. Okay, this smaller portion here goes in front, and then you've got all of this here, and this will go in this portion right here. This is where this is going to sit. Okay, and you're technically going to be gluing the back of this here, and then this front part will be glued down there, and they'll fit right there. Okay, so that's how that is going to sit in there. All right, and then your actual journal itself is going to go right here. You're going to put your eyelets right there. So what I usually like to do, let's set these aside so they dry. This is all 7 of them I'm going to use. Is the next thing I do is I go ahead and I put my eyelets in. Okay, so your envelopes are sitting here and your journal is going to sit here, and then this is what folds over the top of them. Okay, so you don't want to put your journal there, you want to put it right here. Okay, and the way I do this is I just take my hole punch here and my eyelet setter. Let me see, I think I'm going to do, let me move that out of the way. I think I was going to do some brass looking ones, so that way I have 2 of these. Yeah. All right, so I'm going to do that, and I put that, what I will do is this is where it's going to sit. I just kind of eyeball it in there. You want it a little bit ahead of that, so I'm just going to put a dot right here and a dot right here. That's pretty much where I'm going to put it. Probably in the middle. More in the middle, I think, would be better. Okay. And measure, get this down just a little bit. This kind of tells me where I want it, and I put it right in the middle. Do it on the other side. And the reason you want to do an eyelet is so that it keeps it from, you know, ripping. And then also, we did have our microboard tape in here, and that also helps. That's one of the reasons you put that in there, and also to strengthen the folds and the seams in here. But I'm also going to put some trim on the outside, and that'll help also. So I'm going to go ahead and do this. Get that all in there. Okay. Oop, I didn't get that pushed down enough. Let me do it again. It's got to get closer to me, probably. There we go. That's better. All right, let me do the other one. Okay, so let me do this. All right. Okay, so we got those two. Now that one didn't smush either. I've got to get it closer to me probably to do it. Let me get it in here. There we go. Okay, so we did those two, and I will go ahead and put my string in here. Or elastic, and like I said, what I usually do is I figure 1, 2, and then I take one more just to, okay, let me do it again. Go 1, 2, and another one just to tie it. It's kind of stuck in there. So 3, cut that. I'd rather have it longer than not, you know. Okay, so then I just go ahead and do that. And then I've heard a lot of people, they leave it on the roll while they put it in there, just so they don't waste it. And that probably would be a smart thing to do. So basically, I want it in there pretty tight, but not too tight. And so, I'm probably going to do it, let's see, about right like that, okay? And then tie it one more time. Got my finger stuck in there. And then usually what I do at that point is I put a dot of glue. You can tie it again if you want to. You know, but I like to put a dot of glue in there. And the reason I do that is I want it to stay and I don't want the knot to come undone. So I do that. And then I'll go ahead and cut it because I don't keep it long or anything. All right. All right, and you can put that up there, down there, in the middle, whatever you want to do. I usually, if I can fit it back through, I will put it back through. The reason being is when I do this, I am going to, if I can get it, I am going to cover it. Yeah, it's not going to fit. I did it one time too many, but it doesn't matter. Okay, you just put that in there. You're not really going to see it. Okay, and then this is where you're going to put that, but I'm not going to leave it in there now because we're going to do more things with it. But that will go there, and then these are going to go in here. Okay, and then that will just close like that, and that'll come across the top. Okay, so that's how it's going to go in there. Now, the next thing we're going to do, I'm going to go ahead and take this out. And I'm just going to go ahead and move it out for right now. So after we do that, the next thing we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and put our lace on the back, okay, or our trim. All right, so we're going to do that, and then we're going to do some decorating and things. And the last thing I'm going to do is put the envelopes in. I'm going to go ahead and stop the camera, and we're going to do that. And then also, remember I told you we're going to put a button on? We're going to go ahead and sew one of, or tie one of these little buttons on, okay? So I'm going to stop the camera real quick and make sure we have all our envelopes ready to go, because we're going to do that next. You guys get yours ready. And then we'll go ahead and finish this up. Okay, so now what we're going to do is we've got our envelopes ready. And I've put different trim on all of these. So I've got my envelopes that I'm going to use. Like I said, y'all can pick however many you want to use. So I'm going to set those aside. I've got all my different laces on there. And I've got my elastic, the same elastic that we used here, I'm going to use for our closure. And on this, this is going to go around and loop around this button. And then I have this button here that has the raised, I don't know what you call that thing on it. So I punched a little hole in here with my hole punch. And I'm going to put that in here. Just kind of pop it through. So that's going to sit about right there. And then I'm going to take my elastic, and I think I'm going to do 1, 2, I think that'll be enough right there. I'm going to go ahead and take this edge, and I'm going to pop it through here, that out of the way. And I'm just going to poke it through here, and hopefully I can get it in there pretty good. Sometimes it's a little tricky, but it usually goes in pretty good. Okay. Get it through the other end. Here we go. All right. So that is going to be what I use to put all the way around. I'm going to go ahead and first measure, make sure it's right. And I'm going to just kind of put my envelopes in there, even though we're not done with it yet, but it gives me an idea of the thickness, okay? So that'll go around there like that, and then this will go here. So it probably needs to be, I would say, right about here, because it, you know, it is going to stretch. So let's say here, probably here. I'm going to go right there and tie a double knot. Right? Let's see if that's right before I finish it off. If that seems about right. Yeah, I think that's perfect. That'll work. You make it a little loose for when you fill it up, but then again, it is stretchy, so it's going to stretch. And okay, so now I'm going to take that and make sure I make it nice and tight. Okay, and then I'm going to put a tiny bit of glue just to hold it. I don't like my knots to come out, because once you cut this, it's really kind of hard to tie it again. So then I will cut that shorter. Okay. And I usually put this part of it on this inside part right here, so you can't really see it. Now, if you want to cover that with something, you can, but I just leave it. And what I usually do at this point is I'll put a dab of glue right here to kind of make that stay down. Okay. And let that dry. If it bothers you how it looks, you could cover it with some lace or a piece of paper. I've even taken another button. Let me see if I have one that'll work on there. I've even taken other buttons, flat ones, get that open, and you know, put them on the other side, or done something like that. But I think on this one, it doesn't really bother me, so I'm going to leave it. But the thing is, when you do this, you need some sort of kind of raised button to do that, for it to go through the hole. And you do like that, then this will end up going just like that. Okay, and that's your closure. All right. There's lots of different ways to do closures. I just do it on these that way. Let's see. I don't know. I may put something on that in a little bit, but you know, it doesn't really matter to me that much. But anyway, so the next thing I'm going to do after that is I'm going to go ahead and take the lace that I want to use as a trim on this, and it's going to go on the outside, and I'm going to put it on, and I'm going to put lace here, here, and here. And I found some that'll fit right in the middle right here. Of course, you could put some that goes over both of the ends there, but I like it to fit right in the middle. I'm not trying to hide the file folder, but I just want to kind of jazz it up a little bit. So I'm going to take that and just kind of go right in here. Okay, where's my little spreader thing so I don't keep getting it all over my fingers. Right? And then I'm just going to put that on here. And this fits like right in between. If you do one over, you can put it on the ends, and then that would reinforce them even more. But I think this is probably good right where we're at. Okay, so I'm doing that. I'm going to do that. Okay. Okay, and then let me do, oh, here's my other scissors. I was looking for those. I'm going to put that right over here, and I'm going to actually cover this elastic. Of course, you don't have to do that. Now, I don't know. I'm kind of thinking I may use a different one, a little wider. Where did that go? It was in here just a minute ago. Yeah, here we go. I may use this just because it's a tiny bit wider. I'm going to find the end of it. Okay, and put it, oops, there we go. We're going to put that right over here. Okay. So let's put some glue. And you don't have to do this. I'm just doing it because I just like how it looks. It doesn't really serve a function necessarily. Now the thing is, you won't be able to replace the elastic, but you really don't need to. So, I mean, you can replace your whatever journal you put in there. So you don't really, I want to put that a little ahead because it's a little frayed. Okay. That's a little bit bigger, but it should fit over there really good. Okay. So then I'm going to trim that. I'm going to have to probably straighten that out a little bit and trim it. Trim the other side. Get it all on there straight. Okay, so that's it. Of course, you'd let it dry. So that's the back, okay? Then this side, I'm not going to put any lace in this middle part because you need this open, all right? You could, if you wanted to, put some right here. I mean, if you wanted to do that, I don't know. I think personally, let's see, I think this will look pretty good here. Or maybe I'll try this one. It fits in there a little better. I can put, this you're not going to see, this you will see. You won't see this portion right here, and you'll see why in a minute. So I'm going to put it on this side. I almost put it on the other side, but there's really no need to because you won't see it. Okay, so I'm going to do that. And put that right here. And this is just a decorative thing. It doesn't really do all that much, so but we'll do that. Now if you put it wider and you had it going over these seams, it would also reinforce it. So if you were concerned about that, you could put like a ribbon or something to reinforce it. I don't personally think it's going to need it, but that's okay. I'm going to leave that like that, and then I'm going to just go ahead and this will be filled, and you'll see that in a minute, okay? The next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to think about decorating my front, and my front is going to look pretty much just like this. This is what it's going to look like, okay? This will go over it like that, and you don't have to decorate it. Obviously, you can leave it just the way it is. So what I'm going to do is I am going to, I have these little cutouts, and they come from the Tim Holtz Christmas Noel, and that's it. And I found these pieces. I've got this vintage snowman, I'm not snowman, Santa Claus, and I'm going to put him kind of right here, okay? I think I'm going to put him right kind of in the middle. And then I think I'm going to put this December 25th up there. And then I've got this, and I think I'm going to put those down here, okay? Just kind of like that. And go like that. And I also have made this. I did it with my vintage typewriter, if I haven't lost it. Hold on. Okay, I'm missing something here. Move this out of the way. Okay, I'm missing my other little thing that I was going to use. I don't know where it went to. Okay, well, I need to look real quick and see what happened to it. Okay, found it. All right, so we're gonna put this over here, and it says Christmas budget, and I just cut out a piece of scrap paper and I'm gonna put that there, and then do that. So, and I'm just gonna use a little bit of cheesecloth and a little bit of eyelash trim. Do that. Let me see, I'll do it about right here, I think will be good. And then maybe that right here. Okay, and I want this kind of frayed, so doing a little bit of this, okay. Okay, let's just go ahead and all right, so now I'm going to try and put that kind of like right here. And this is purely decorative. It doesn't have any real purpose. Okay, so I'm going to put that there. All right. And then I think I'm going to take a little bit of this, and maybe do a little bit of that. This is just some eyelash trim that I may put a little less, maybe right over here. Okay, and kind of put that right there. Oh, that's weird right there. Okay, so that'll go there. And then maybe just a little bit more of this up there. I don't know. Let's see. Let's see how that will look. Should I want to put that there? Okay, and then this is going to go right here. Maybe put a little bit of this over there. That might work. Let's see here. I don't know. I'm going to put that kind of right there. All right. There we go. I'm going to put that there. And maybe put this over here. Okay, I think that's probably how I'm going to do it. Let me go ahead and do one of these at a time. So I'm going to put this down. And I'll probably just do right here. All right, got that. Then I've inked around this already, so I'm going to put, I think I'll put this on the bottom part there. Okay. Maybe a little bit right there. Oh, don't stick to my fingers. Okay, then I'll put some glue on this. Okay. Probably just get that tucked under there a little bit more. Here we go. Right on the edge, so when that closes it'll be like that. Okay, yeah, did we get that in there good? Maybe just tuck that under there a little bit. Okay, so that's where that's going. Okay, and then I'm gonna put this over here. And I don't think I'm going to put, well, maybe I will. I don't know. I think I'm just going to put that on there. And put that kind of, sort of, let's see, maybe this way. Right? And put some glue on here. All right, so that is going to go right here. And I want to kind of get that to where it's not leaning off of that side, but comes almost even. So that's going to go right there. Okay. So I've got that on, and now I'm going to put this on. Just not real sure if I'm going to put the cheesecloth on it with it. Let's see. Really don't want too much hanging over there because I'm going to have the maybe I just put this. Let's see here. Let's see how that looks. I don't know. Not real sold on that. Let me think. Make that a little smaller, see if I like it better. All right, oops. Let's try that. Maybe I'll like it like that. Yeah, I think I like that better like that. That works better. I'll trim that up a little bit. Okay, so I'm going to put that on there. I pin it like that. How am I doing it? Probably a little bit more like this, because I don't want it to hang over the other side too much. And then I'll put that in there. And I'll ink that up. So I'm just going to put that on. Okay, so now that I've done that, I pretty much got the front decorated, and then I'm just going to put in, oh great, I lost it again. What did I do with my other words here? Okay, I'm going to put this on here, and this is just a piece of scrap paper, and then I type this on my typewriter, and of course you can, you know, do anything you want on there or not put anything at all. I was going to put the special delivery. I was thinking about putting that on there, but I changed my mind. I decided I'm going to go ahead and use this. Okay, there we go. I put a little bit too much glue. Get some of it off. Get that all nice and flat. Okay, and then I'm going to put this on. Okay, I don't know why that's sticking up right there. Okay, there we go. That's better. All right, let's get that on there. I think I'm going to ink this a little bit. Let's see, because I have all my other ones inked and I want it to match. Okay, there we go. Just a little bit darker. And then I'm going to put that on there. Okay. All right, so that's the front. It is completely decorated the way we want it. Like I said, you don't have to even decorate it. You can just leave it however. But I figure if you're going to make it, you might as well decorate it, right? Okay, so that's on there pretty good. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and put the envelopes on the inside. All right. And that is pretty easy. What I do is, this is where they're going to sit. They're going to sit right in this portion where you have this flap and then here, okay? But before I do that, whatever words or whatever I'm going to put right here, and I've decided I'm going to put Christmas budget and receipts, okay? So I'm going to put this down first. Let me ink it up a little bit. Just because, you know, I inked everything else up and I kind of want it to go with it. Okay. So I'll put that down. Kind of right here. So that is going to go right kind of centered in the middle. Again, you don't have to put anything in there if you don't want to. And then I'm going to put this. Okay. All right. Okay, so that just says Christmas budget and receipts. Now what I'm going to do, I have made tabs with my tab punch, okay? And if you don't have one of these, they're worth it, I think. I have tab die cuts that I can use too, but this is just so easy to go through and punch them out. Anyway, so I have these, and I basically put all the people I'm buying for. One of them went under here, that I'm going to put on here, and I'm going to put them on my envelopes. But first I'm going to put my envelopes in because I like to space them after I get them in there. So what I'm going to do with my envelopes is I have decided what order I want them in. I just staggered the different papers so there's not two the same. And what I'm going to do is put my first one in, and it fits right here in this little slot portion of it. Like when you lay it down, that portion right here. So all of them are going to fit in there, but you want to get the first one lined up to the bottom of this. You don't want to cover, you do not want to cover this line. You want to get right to about right here on the bottom, okay? So I just take some glue, and this first one, you want to make sure you put plenty of glue on the back, all the way around. Okay, because you want it to stick good to the back. Okay, and you're going to put that in there, and you want to use a good strength glue. And I center it in the middle because the envelope's a tiny bit smaller than the actual folder, so that you just kind of split the difference. Get it all, line it up with the bottom there, okay? And that's your first one. Now, I have these in the order that I want them. The next one, what I'm going to do is I'm going to put glue right down here and here, okay? So I'm going to basically just glue this bottom portion right here, okay? So I'm going to take my glue, and I'm going to go just a little bit below here, and I'm going to go right here, and I'm going to glue that, okay? So then I'm going to just stack that right on top of the next one. Okay, you want to get them all even on the sides and the bottom. And you're just going to basically do that all the way down. Kind of like right here. And then do the next one. And you're going to do the next one. Oop, I dropped my glue there. Okay, and just make sure while you're doing this that you're, wiping off any excess glue, keeping them even and not crossing the line down there, because you don't want to do that, or you won't be able to fold this, okay? And keep going again. All right, and then I'm going to do the next one. And make sure you don't start getting, in there crooked, because, all right. And then also too, the width and the bulk on this is going to depend on the lace and things you put on it. So if you don't want it real bulky, if you're using more envelopes or something, you just cannot put, as much lace and things on it. But I'm not going to be putting a lot, so I'm not too concerned about it. All right. That should be just right. Okay, let's make sure that they're in there nice and straight before it dries, okay? And what'll happen is these will all open up, but what keeps them from just falling apart is this part right here gets, you know, glued to the front piece right here, okay? And you basically take all of this whole front portion here, and glue it to here. So you're not going to see much of that except for the very top. So this one, you kind of do what you do with the back one, except you don't put glue up there. And you're basically just putting glue all over here just to make sure that this piece goes there. Now what I do to get that in there the right way is I hold this up, I have them all down flat, and then I pull this up and I make sure that this one comes out here and it matches that and it hits it right perfect. Okay, make sure it doesn't scooch on the top part. Okay, and what'll happen, oop, one of them came undone. Let's go ahead and do, here we go. Put that back down on there. And you really kind of have to wait till they're done to pull them apart just to see. But anyway, that's how your little envelopes are going to be in there. Is they're all going to be in here just like that. And you're going to have your little spots in there. And this top part, okay, is what keeps it, it helps it expand. You're just going to have it expanding there like that all the way across, okay? Make sure none of them are stuck. Okay, so we've got that one. Make sure it's stuck in there. That one did not come undone, did it? Okay. All right. I'm just kind of pressing down a little bit. Make sure they all get stuck in there. Okay. And this other one. Okay, we got them all, I think. So we kind of just have to let it sit for a minute. Don't let it get in there crooked. Here we go. One of them's crooked, I can tell. This one right here, I think. Which one's crooked? Oh, okay, this one. All right, let's see. Which one went in crooked? I can see one that's crooked. Okay, so that is going there. All right. Okay, now it's straight. So now we're going to let that sit. And while it's sitting, I'm going to go ahead and put my tabs on. And normally I would let this dry before I fiddled with it. But for right now, what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and put my tabs on each one. And I'm putting them all on the back of these. And let's see, I've got... I'm missing one. Oh, here we go. Right, these are my sons, and I'm doing them in a certain order. And then I've got other stuff. Okay, so I'm gonna put each of my tabs on while I'm doing this. And these are just for the people I'm buying for. And then, like I said, you can divide it up any way you want to. I'm putting this one right here. And the way I do it is I just kind of go one right next to the other. You know, like the next one will go down. So I went ahead and used my typewriter. Okay. Oh, I did that one too low. Get that in there good. All right. Make sure these are all in the right spot. Okay, good. Okay. Okay, I don't know why this is not working, but there we go. There we are. You know, and you take your time with it and make sure you get everything on there nice and straight. This one looks very crooked. I don't know what's going on over here. They're not wanting to stay on as I do it. Not sure why. It should with that. Okay, that one's gonna go right there. And then the way I'm setting this up is I'm basically putting a tab for each person that I buy things for. Now you could do this and put like cash and say, okay, you know, I just want to spend this much, so I'll just use cash, which is kind of what I'm thinking I may do. I'm going to do that and then keep the receipts in there as I do it. And that's kind of how I'm going to do my budget. I'm going to put so much cash in there, and then I'm going to, after that, okay, I'm going to put others right down there. I'm going to put the glue on here. It works better that way. Okay, so then I'm going to take that, get right to the end, I think. I think that went all the way over. Okay. Really just need to hold it there for a second, but oh, okay. And then I've got decorations and food. Okay. And then let's see. I'm just going to start it back right over here. If I can get it to stay. This paper kind of has almost a vinyl feel to it, so I think it's taken a little bit longer for it to stick. So I'm going to have to hold it for a second. Plus I have a lot of glue on my fingers. I think that's what was happening with our folders too, is that they're not gluing real well, so okay. So then this is my last one, and I'm going to put that right here if I can still get behind there. Okay, that will go right here. Okay, is that on there straight? I think it is. Maybe. I can't get it in there on there good. Okay, let me let it sit there for a second and then it'll stay. All right, guys, so pretty much you get the idea. You have your folder with all its little openings here for every, well, those need to stay on, but they're going to be crooked if I don't watch it. Here we go. Okay, anyway, so you're going to have all of your little dividers for whatever you want to do. Your Christmas budget and receipts, you can put cash in there, you can put receipts, you can put lists, whatever you want to do. And then you're going to have this part. Now on this part, you have to decide if you want to leave this like that or if you want to cover it. I was going to cover it with this. Not sure though. because it's the same as that. I think I might just leave it for now, but you get the idea, guys. So this would go in there. Okay, so you could put your lists or whatever else you have in there, and then you have your dividers. Okay, let that dry all the way because I'm pulling them apart again, and I gotta have to glue the back one again. But you want to let them dry. That way they will open up like an accordion, so you have enough room in there to put cash or receipts or whatever. And because you gave it a little bit of room back there, it should fit just fine. And then all you do is, here you've got that there, okay? You've got there, that's your list. So this would go like that. You fold it in like this, okay? That's the outside portion there. There you go here, okay? And just take that, and you've got your closure that goes around here like that. All right, and that's it. So you could just stick this in your purse. You know, do your cash thing if you want to, do your receipts, do your lists. I think it's a practical little thing. It's a, you know, a decorative little journal. This is really does not take a long time to make it all, guys. It really, really doesn't. It's very easy. And it, you know, and like I said, you could make this just as a budget thing for somebody too, if you didn't want to do that. But anyway, that is my Christmas budget journal. So I hope you guys liked it. The next thing that we're going to do is we are going to actually make something very similar to this. And this is something that I made that was for travel. It's like a travel notebook, okay? And I did that wrong. Okay, that has to go around there. And all this is this is just envelopes that have been made into a little travel notebook. But I'm going to use it as a way to make quick gifts for people. Maybe you have a bunch of family members, you don't want to spend a lot of money, but you want to make something nice for them. This will make a little travel journal, but it'll really be, for me, it's Christmas memories. So if you have people come over, or holiday memories or whatever, and all you're going to need is you're going to need some papers that you want to use, okay? And I used basically a few different things, but mainly I used these envelopes, and these are, let's see, and I got them off of Amazon. These are 8 3/4 by 5 3/4. So I used, I think it was, let's see, I think 2 of those on the outside. And then what I did is in the middle, I used just some cardstock that I had that I didn't like, sandwiched in between 2 papers that I liked. So basically, what I'm going to do on this is put, I think I used 6 in the middle. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yeah. So I used the 2 big envelopes for the outside, okay? And then on the inside, I used these sandwich pieces, okay? So we're going to do that. And so I'm going to take some of my old cardstock. And the reason you need that is you need them thick enough to do this. Or you could use chipboard. I mean, if you have some chipboard, like you've had some cereal boxes or whatever, you could use that. You can use cardstock. And then pick papers that you want to use on the outside, on each side, okay? And I'm going to use a digital kit on this, a Christmas kit, okay? And any other papers you want to use. Now, in addition, I used some other envelopes, and I used these other ones, and this is what I had before. I don't think I cut these down. This was 8 3/4 by 4 1/4. So I used a couple of those, and I also used some smaller ones that I made some little flaps with, okay? And these were 4 3/4 by 5 1/2, okay? So I used, I believe, let's see, 3 of these, and then I used 2 of those and 2 of the larger ones. That's what I'm going to use on this. You don't have to use as many. I also used some other smaller envelopes and things that I put in here, but I'm going to make this one a little bit different, just because I think it'd be kind of a cute thing to give for a Christmas gift. And basically, it's made to where you can put photos in it. You can stash different things because of all the different envelopes. But that's kind of what we're going to make. And then you'll need the rings to close it with. And I used, I believe these are the smaller ones. You can use the 2-inch, the 1-inch, whatever it is you think you're going to use. The more you put in it, the more you need. I did not use any kind of anything on here like an eyelet, except for the top, and this is where I had a keychain, but that's where we're going to put a tassel. And then on here I just punched the holes and I used hole reinforcers. Okay, so anyway, that's what we're going to do the next time, and that'll be on Tuesday. So if you're interested in doing that, you don't have to use the exact same size of envelopes I used. You can use whatever you want to use. The cool thing about these is that they're kind of sturdy and they work really well. They have good pockets or something, but you can certainly use any size that you want. And the configuration will be basically the same, just depending upon the envelope. So you decide what you want to use. And like, again, I mean, you could make it into a travel thing. You don't have to make it a Christmas theme. It could be any theme you want. But this is something that does not take a lot of time, just like the budget one. And you could make it for a gift. You could make it for yourself. But anyway, that'll be on Tuesday. So thanks for watching, and I hope you enjoyed making our budget journal. So we'll see you again next time, guys.